I did one video demonstrating this already, but I did it sideways, so I thought I would do it again. I want to demonstrate what this bell jar does. The bell jar is a way of simulating the negative pressure mechanism of human breathing. This hard plastic jar here is supposed to represent our thorax, and the balloons in there are supposed to represent your lungs, or you could think of them as the intrapulmonary space. The diaphragm on the bottom represents the diaphragm. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to model breathing. When we're at rest and relaxed and not breathing in, the diaphragm is relaxed, and when it's in that condition, it's actually domed up like this. You can see the lungs are deflated. Okay? When I contract the diaphragm actually drops like this, increases the volume of the thorax, drops the pressure, and air flows into the lungs, inflating them. That's Boyle's law in action. Okay? Increase in volume, decrease in pressure, air flows in to equilibrate that pressure. When we breathe out, we relax the diaphragm, it domes up, volume of the thorax goes down, pressure in the thorax goes up, and air flows out. Expand, contract the diaphragm, expand, volume goes up, pressure goes down, air flows in. Negative pressure breathing. Alright, in this fairly short video I'm going to show you how to use the handheld respirometer to check your respiratory capacities. So I made this little sheet here, and I don't know if you can see that or not, but it says that your vital capacity is equal to your inspiratory reserve capacity plus your vital capacity plus your expiratory reserve capacity. So let's go ahead and measure those. Your vital capacity is the total amount of air you can move in and out of the lungs with a maximal breath. Your tidal volume is the amount that you move in and out during quiet breathing. So just going, that's roughly 500 mils. Okay, and it's pretty standard for most people. A little bit less for people of small stature, a little bit more for larger people. So we're going to assume that your tidal volume is 500 mils. It's a little hard on these handheld respirometers to actually get an accurate measurement of tidal volume. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take a maximum inhalation. Okay, until you feel like you're going to explode. And then when you get to that maximum inhalation, then you're going to put this thing in your mouth, and you're going to blow out as much as you can to the point where it's and then more, and more, and more, and more, until you're about to pass out. That's what a pulmonologist does. They yell at you and they tell you to keep breathing out until you pass out. Hopefully not pass out. And what you'll have measured there with that maximum exhalation after a maximum inhalation is going to be your vital capacity. Then what you're going to do, so now you have your tidal volume of 500 mils, which we estimated. We've just measured our vital capacity using the spirometer. What you're going to do now is this is a little tricky. You have to sit here and breathe normally, which is almost impossible when you're thinking about it. So you breathe normally, and then after your normal exhalation, so you just kind of, after you exhale, then you're going to blow out as much as you can. So you take this after a normal exhalation, and then don't breathe in, and then blow out as much as you can. Until you're coughing and dying. What you measured there was your expiratory reserve volume. That's the amount that you can breathe out after a normal exhalation. There's still some air in the lungs that you could expel if you really, really tried. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how this works. So the respirometer has a little turbine in there, and as it turns, it calculates the volume of air that's flowing over it. So a few things about this respirometer. It has to be held flat, and you can't cover the holes with your fingers when you hold it like this. Okay, you can't cover the holes. So you got to hold it down there at the base. Make sure you don't cover the fingers. Put a fresh mouthpiece on. Push that on there with no leaks. Calibrate the dial to 0. You got to calibrate the dial to 0. If you forget to do that, then you go through the exercise and you don't know what it reads. This can go up to a total of 6.5 liters, which you'd have to have a pretty large lung capacity to approach that. So usually I can get about 5.5. We'll see what we get here. So the first thing I'm going to measure is my vital capacity. Okay, so calibrated to 0, hold flat, don't cover the holes. That is usually what happens when I do this. Okay. I got 5.5 liters. Okay. So what I just recorded there was my vital capacity. 5.5 liters. I'm going to estimate my tidal volume to be 500 mils. So that's 0.5 liters. So now I'll get my expiratory reserve capacity here. Got to calibrate it back to 0. Just turn the dial back to 0. So now breathe normally, which is like impossible. Normal exhalation. That was really lame. I didn't even get a liter. I'm going to try that again. I think I waited a little too long. In case you're wondering, no, I don't smoke. Should sit up straight. Oh, I realize because I've deoxygenated myself. And I got 1.3 liters. That's my expiratory reserve capacity. All right, so now I've got all the numbers I need in there, and now I can actually figure out what my inspiratory reserve capacity is. My inspiratory reserve capacity would represent, after I take a normal inhalation of that 500 mils that I breathe in, all of a sudden I decided to breathe in more. How much more could I take in? Now, your inspiratory reserve capacity should be quite a bit larger than your expiratory reserve capacity. And in fact, mine will be. Okay. So if I take vital capacity of 5.5, subtract off of that my 0.5 tidal volume minus my 1.3 expiratory reserve, I'm going to be, and let's see, that's 5, 4, 3.7 liters. As my inspiratory reserve volume. Okay. If I want to know my total lung capacity, which is not really something it's easy to calculate, your total lung capacity is your vital capacity plus your residual volume. Without some special techniques and some X-ray equipment, we can't figure out the residual volume. So you can estimate a typical residual volume of being about 1,100 mils. So I'll just fill that in there. So basically what I would do is I would take my vital capacity and I would add 1.1 liters to that. So that'd give me a total lung capacity of about 6.6 liters. So I need you to be able to do those calculations on your test. Okay? You're going to be given the respirometer. You should know how to use it. You should know what these values are and how to calculate your inspiratory reserve capacity. Okay, thanks.